All of a sudden my hair looked flat.
The last minute.
In the last minute I looked and kind of go, I think it's just the way some of the color is. Well.
It's
a little slow this morning.
It's icy.
Mm-hmm. Foggy.
The web is icy.
There we go. The web could be icy.
It could be.
Maybe in some locations.
Well, when I came around the corner, there was a poor guy getting out of his car trying to walk to the gym. And he didn't almost make it. And then, I slid around too. So the parking lot is a little bit dicey.
Yeah, it's going to warm up here in a couple hours. Like it'll just be mush again.
Yeah, there is mush.
But there was ice. Good morning, Erica. Erica was driving back. We were watching all the snow yesterday, and she had her Mini with her.
Oh, gee.
And it was, she was concerned about the challenge of getting home in her Mini, even though it had snow tires, because there's a lot of snow on the road. The Mini can't quite get over some of them.
Well, it looks like she made it home.
Yes, she did. Good morning. There's Sue Lusted and Wendy Dalrymple and Kathy.
There they go.
Yeah. Tammy and Darlene. Darlene, we miss you. And there's Brenda. Port Lambton, Brenda Kern. Okay.
Oh, there's somebody from Newfoundland. So, I wonder what kind of
there's
weather
Mary
is over
Crow.
there.
And, well, so nice of you to join us on this January 24th day, right? 24th of January.
Yes.
So 24th of January, 2024.
Well, there we go.
It's kind of neat numbers to write. And tomorrow, if anybody celebrates, it's Bobby Burns' birthday. Some people have haggis and there's all these celebrations. And why do I remember Bobby Burns' birthday?
I was going to say, that seems like a random bit of information.
January 25th. Well, my parents were married January 25th.
Oh, there we go. That would do it.
In 1956. So, anyway, I remember that date. And we were brought up knowing that it was Bobby Burns' birthday. So my dad had some Scotch background. So
there you go.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I have a few door prizes.
Oh, and I like that you picked some nice bright ones this morning.
Oh, we need some brightness. We need some sunshine.
Some cheery things.
So this is a springy tea towel. I can't really open it. Okay, there we go. Sorry, there was a little glitch on the computer. We were panicking for a minute.
Only for a second or two, but there was a panic.
I have a farm pillowcase kit. You can just sew up for someone. And then I did grab 8 colorful fat quarters.
Oh, they are lovely. What a nice choice, Tammy.
Yeah, so somebody can have some fun with that. And just make a comment, and then we'll draw at the end.
Yeah, somebody said something about January's almost over. Yeah, it is almost over. And Tammy does blend with a lovely quilt behind us.
Yes, we have green behind us. Also springy. We're thinking springy this morning.
Excellent.
But, however, before we get to spring, we do have February coming. And we have one last three. Sorry, I'm wrong. 3 of these little February panels. They're 15 by 20 inches. And they're $5 each. And this is Arlene's that she's sewn up, and she has little tabs on her so she can hang it up. But you could do whatever you want with it. Just thought we would show you those.
Oh, and I was going to mention we just had our retreat.
Oh, right, yes.
And had a lovely time. And we have our February retreat coming up next month, and it's the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And I have a few openings. So if that would be of interest, please let me know as soon as possible, because we have a few openings and we'd love to have you if you'd like to come.
All right.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to remind people of. Our sale.
Yes. Lori Holt and clearance is 25% off till the end of the month.
Okay.
And that's been good. Some of those things have been moving, and there's lots of good choices still.
And we've added some classes on our webpage.
Right? Yes, we could go over those. So we still have room in the February 1st. It's Thursday, February 1st. The intro to paper piecing. And then that's our second class.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed
of the first one.
Yes.
The second class of the first one.
And then Saturday, February the 24th, is the 3-leaf paper piecing, part 2.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we're going to be looking at, were we looking at a free motion class?
We don't have the date for it yet, but
Okay.
in the future.
Yeah, we're looking at a free motion on your domestics coming up. So
Yeah, you
we're
can keep an eye
working
out
on
for
some
that.
dates on that. Okay.
Okay. Right.
And as always, if the weather is, not cooperating like yesterday, we weren't really sure. And between Tammy and Gladys, they rescheduled that beginner's class so that nobody would be driving in the questionable weather.
Yes. So that's happening Thursday for them.
Oh, and Leslie says, good morning, happy hump day. Yeah, there we go.
It is every Wednesday, right? So we thought we would do a little refresher on pins, because that's something that we use every day. And sometimes we're not aware of all our options. So I think first I'll just start with normal pins when you're piecing. There's clover, there are patchwork pins. Anytime you're looking for pins, you probably want a heat resistant. So if you happen to leave it in when you're ironing, that you're not ruining and melting your pins. I would look for how thick you want your pin to be, how long, like people have preferences. So there's these clover ones have the little balls on the end. Martelli has these button push pins. See if I can open it. No, I can't. They're more of a flat head. Sometimes people like, I should have. There we go.
But sometimes it depends on the fabric too, because if it's finer fabric, you want a finer pin. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing something heavier, heavier, you want a pin that's heavier that's not going to bend.
That's going to bend. So the fine ones aren't great for that. And sometimes too, if you're going to be pinning a project and leaving it for a while, if you have flat heads, maybe it stores better and you can see it. It's always fun to have colorful tops so that you can find them, so you're not poking yourself. What else did I have for pins? So there's other flathead pins as well by Clover. And they're always different price points. When you are organizing your blocks and your projects, sometimes you get tired of pinning, with the tape and the paper and labeling. These cool pins are great because they have alphabet on one side and numbers on the other, so that you can pin your rows and keep organized so you know what to sew next. So those are a neat thing to have. And then also when you're piecing, fork pins are a lifesaver, especially if you have a block that needs to be very accurate with your points. I brought a couple blocks, and what you do is they're really great for nesting. They come in this little case. They're very thin, so I always keep my case handy. You don't want to lose them. And what you do is you nest your seams, make sure that they're nice and tight, cozy, and then you put a pin on either side of the seam. And then when you're sewing, I will sometimes sew over them because they are so thin, but it doesn't move, because often when you're pinning and you remove that pin just before you get there, next thing you know, you look and things have moved. So these are awesome, especially when you need to be very precise. And then there's also applique pins if you are working on applique projects. I have some Lori Holt ones. They're more of a T-pin. There's Bowen. They're glass heads. And then I have these little extra sharps. And applique pins are usually a lot shorter, so that you're not poking yourself when you're working on a project, because usually you're working with smaller pieces.
And people also like them for wool applique.
Yes, wool applique as well. So there's lots of options for that. Okay, do those. And then when you are basting, if you still like to do basting with pins, you have curved pins by Dritz, and then there's these Wonder pins by Clover. And I've shown these before, but they have the little plastic heads so that you can rock back and forth on your project, and they open. They're like a one-handed. There we go. Of course I can't do it. Anyway, they're a one-handed pin. They're easier to grab. And there's a little package
They rock
of those.
nicer if they're in fabric.
Yes. So I should have grabbed some fabric.
That's okay.
So there's basting pins. And then sometimes you're making bags or really bulky seams, say with fleece or basil, then the Wonder Clips are great. So there's little minis, and even for binding, to hold your binding onto your quilt before you sew it on. That's handy. We always have these 25 clips for $15. That's a great deal. And I think those are the most popular. And then there's also jumbo clover pins, or clover clips. And then to keep your pins organized in your sewing room, I have some different options. There's the Lori Holt pin holder, Flower Power. And then we have our little Cherished Pieces stainless steel magnetic bowl. And then we also have pincushion kits that you can make your own pincushion. So everything is included in this kit for $10. Not the button, however. Not everyone likes buttons. But there's the walnut shells and
some
the
people have
fabrics.
got a whole collection of special
Yes.
buttons they might want to incorporate.
So you can make a nice little pincushion. And then we also have these wool pincushion kits where everything's in there, the wool, the pattern. You just have to cut out your shapes and applique those on. It might be a good way to try doing something in wool. So there's lots of things to make pinning easier. And Arlene is going to come do a little demo on some pattern weights when you don't want to pin. So speed things along.
And I did see a comment from Marilyn Massey that she's sitting waiting for her 4th grandchild to be born.
Ooh, that'll
How
be
exciting,
fun.
Marilyn.
Do you mind running the camera?
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I thought it would be fun for a different option if you don't want to pin or you just don't want to use the clips, for pattern weights. So this would be if you're cutting out a pattern for like a unique shape, like say you're making an apron or something like that, and you don't want to pin that paper pattern all on your fabric. You can just put these weights on it, and I have a few here to hold it down while you cut around the shape. So I thought I'd show you how to make these. All right. So for starters, you're just taking a piece of fabric, and it's 4 inches by 8 inches. So just a rectangle, 4 inches by 8 inches. Then you're taking a piece of ribbon, and you want your ribbon 4 inches. So you could just even do it like that and cut it there. And I think I forgot a scissors. I was going to show you.
Here's my nice little sharp martellis.
Perfect, thank you. So 4 inches a piece of ribbon, so just approximately like that. You're going to want to fold your ribbon in half so you get a little loop, and you want it on the bottom corner. So for me, I would want it here, but for you, you'd want it here, just so I can do it opposite for you. So you want approximately right there. You want to leave room for your seam allowance, so maybe 1/2 inch up from the edge. Then you're going to take this and sandwich that piece of ribbon in there and fold your piece in half. And this is where your clips or your pins or whatever you prefer will come in handy. And you're going to pin or clip that piece of ribbon in there. And I would probably put one up here also. So then you want to sew that bottom edge and up the side. So that's the only sewing you do for now. Bottom edge and up the side so that the ribbon is in the corner. So I have that right here. Yes, so this is that step. So you can see my ribbon, that the little edge of it is in there, and I've sewn there and there. So the next step you want to do is just clip your corners to reduce some of that bulk. So like that. The next step is you open it up and you're just with your fingers kind of centering the seam opposite, and just finger press that seam a little bit open, again just to reduce bulk. And I just kind of eyeballed that it's somewhat center, and again you would pin or clip that so it looks like this. And your next sewing will be along this edge, but you don't go all the way across. You leave a center, maybe an inch, inch and a half in the middle that you don't sew. So you go back and forth, and I really went back and forth a lot just so that when you're filling it, you're not breaking that seam. So I really went back and forth a lot. So then that would look like this. So you can see I have a little hole there, right in there. So that's what it looks like. It's kind of a funny shape right now. So again, I would clip my corners, those two corners that you just sewed, and this is where you flip inside out. So I do have one of these tools that I use all the time whenever you're flipping something. I mean, a dull pencil or something like that works too, but I like to be able to get my corners really nice. So flip it inside out, get your corners out. There's your piece of ribbon in there. Poke those corners. I'm kind of picky that way, but anyways. So that's your shape right there. And the ribbon is on the bottom, and there's your little hole. I can put my finger in there. So the next step you do is you take a funnel from your kitchen, or I even used a little teaspoon from your coffee sets, and you fill it with this kind of idea. These poly pellets work, or you could use stuff you have around the house like rice or anything like that, but these would work. There's a lot of weight there. And you just put your funnel in that hole and just very carefully fill it up as full as you can get it. So then after that, you would just hand stitch that little hole closed. You would just go with your needle and your thread, and I don't think it would be easy to get under the sewing machine because it's so filled with rice, so it's probably easiest just to do it by hand, but just hand stitch it a little bit and you get your little weight. So there's where I hand stitched, and there's your little weight.
And a lot of people are making like pajamas, and they're cutting out different, because people are venturing a little bit into clothing.
Yes.
So they're cutting out bigger patterns.
So these are pretty heavy, and if you put a few of them on, like if you made, a set of 6 or something, you can hold that piece of paper down pretty well and cut around it, and you can skip the pinning step.
It saves some time too, and poking yourself.
Yeah. So really the only thing you need to remember is your rectangle is 4 inches by 8 inches, and then a 4-inch piece of ribbon. And that's all you need. So we do have this cute little sewing fabric that I got. There's little sewing machines because I thought they'd be fun.
Oh, I like it, Arlene. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What a good idea. And I think that's really clear. Yeah, very nice.
Okay. All right. I think we also have fabric today, right?
We do have some fabric. So this is a line that's come in called the Old Garden. And, oh, it's lovely. So we have the pre-cuts for it. We have the charm packs. We should tell them the prices, I guess.
Okay, so the Fat Quarter Bundle has 27 pieces for $128. You get a good range, all of the ones in the line. The little charm pack is $19.85.
And we've got a jelly roll here. This is 40 pieces for $66. And we have the layer cake, which is $67.95. I can show you. I'll just show you quickly the back, but we're going to show you all the fabrics, so we have all of those. This is quite a lovely, lovely line.
The Old Garden, the Old Garden.
So maybe we'll make some. Do you want to make some room over there? There we go.
All right.
So we have some that are lighter in color, but they all work together beautifully.
This is like your sweater. This one.
It is.
It's a beautiful
kind of
color.
liking that color right now.
It's Daisy, that one. It is navy. There is one floral that is black, but it's mostly navy.
Yeah, and these are 17 a yard. Here's a green. And just looking here, this one I believe is navy. So you can see the transformation there. Navy background.
So move some of these.
And You can see how well they
Oh,
work
yeah, like
because,
even
and
in
this one with the green background. I'm trying to think of the designer's name here. I guess it doesn't matter at the moment. But
It was Daniela something, I think.
Danielle Ciridon, I guess. Ciridon. Anyway, that's another nice color. But lots of springy things that can be done with this.
And they've introduced some of that dusty blue too, which is nice.
Yeah, we're going to see more of that. So lots of different scales here to work with. Some really nice lights and some nice mediums and some darks. Like, look at that.
That's a sienna, they were calling. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then they're sort of your light, medium, dark, right? There. So there's. Once again, here I'm just going to slide these a bit, and in the browns, here's another, a nicer medium-sized print. And then we can introduce a few of these dusty blues that are coming up.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me, like, kind of pioneer days.
It does.
I'm just thinking when I used to love to read books like that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that blue is gorgeous.
Yeah, there's some nice colorways in here. They all work together. I love that they've really, sometimes lines don't pay attention to the different scales and values, and it makes it difficult to work with them. And she has been very successful doing that, I think. Look at that. And then here's sort of that navy print again, right? But in a larger scale. So you see, it's nice to be able to contrast and see sort of this one and then this one. And here comes another dusty blue. Which sort of, when you look at the color wheel, like she has incorporated these so beautifully. Here's another nice, here's a dark green.
Oh, I love this green.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful green. Look at that with it. Look
Yeah, that'll be beautiful.
Look at that again.
Those three.
Isn't that, I'm going to have something out of this line, I was busy working on 25 patches this weekend. It was a good retreat project. I think I have 80 some to do.
Oh, gee.
I haven't even quite calculated. I think I'm at about 25. Because, I have to visit and stuff too. Look at this one. Just like you could touch some of them in the garden,
Couple more.
And the daisy is really pronounced in this one, isn't it?
This is beautiful, the green version.
Yeah. Arlene loves daisies.
And there you go.
But they just all tie and work together quite lovely.
So those are 17, and we have 25 different ones. I put them online, so you should see them on there.
Great. Thanks for doing that, Tammy.
So if you wanted to look at them a little closer, that's a good place to do that.
Do we want to do show and tell? Sure.
This is Donna.
Oh, Donna Doherty, you are such a dolly. And look at this. She has created this for a friend who's not well, that's undergoing treatment. And this is a friend they have had for 46 years, her and her husband. And this is from a picture of him visiting a castle.
Yeah, she did a wonderful job.
And she just created all of this improv. And she included, some of the plaid, like managed to capture the colors from his tartan,
yes,
from his family in Scotland. And yeah, what a labor of love and fun.
Mm-hmm. She had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, she is so much fun.
And there's Sylvia Mayberry.
Look at all the colors. She just loves working with batiks.
That's an awesome way to do it. There's Bonnie Ward with fabrics that her niece has designed. And the picture doesn't really show it, but what
It
looks
doesn't
black
do-
to you is not black. It's like a very deep wine maroon almost.
And it is just it's a stunning quilt. We should have maybe changed the orientation when we showed it, because when we had it laid out on the table, quite a lovely quilt. And, quite meaningful that it was her niece that had designed the fabric. And here's Lorraine with her beginner quilt. And look how beautiful this is. I just love that they were all so different. They picked different colorways, and I think she was very pleased. She did a lovely job.
She was happy that she was finished. Oh, right. Somebody was asking about the quilt behind us. So this is, we call it Green Thimble Blossoms. It is by Camille Roskelly, that pattern. And we decided to do ours in greens because we don't usually do that. And so we had a lot of fun picking them out.
Greens and creams, yeah.
So it's 74 by 74. It's a good size. And the kit is 160.
So it's the same block. Well, no, it's two different blocks.
No,
Same block.
Same
It is
block, just
same
different
block,
colors.
different values. Yeah, that you can play with.
And then cream sashing. So we'll be hanging that up in the store.
Yeah, and you should check out the beautiful quilting pattern that Louise put on here. It's quite lovely. Just makes it very lacy and feminine. And
Okay, are you ready for door prizes? All right.
oh, thank you everybody for taking the time to join us today too. So who's our lucky winners?
So for the little tea towel,
Sharon Tipper.
congratulations, Sharon. The pillowcase kit,
Rhonda Donegan.
congratulations, Rhonda. And then the fun little fat quarters.
Gail Harris.
Gail Harris. Well, congratulations, Gail.
You can let me know if you're going to pick them up or you need them mailed. And we're always happy to keep them for you until you can get here.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us. Looking at the weather forecast, I mean, we've had some snow this week, but it looks like it's going to be a lot milder, so the weather conditions for driving are going to be good. So it's going to be above freezing, and that always makes it so much easier to get back and forth. So hope you'll pop in and visit us. Be safe, enjoy.
Yeah.
And the January blues are almost done.
Oh, yeah. A couple more days.
Okay.
But have fun sewing or whatever you're doing this week.
Yeah, and Marilyn, we're looking forward to hearing about this new baby. It's always exciting to have a new baby come into your world.
All right. Have a great week.